All right, guys, welcome back to another high flying adventure. Today we'll be featuring airplanes. Yes, airplanes. Very exciting. What a good picture, right? We used the. Oh, yeah, he loves it too. Oh, boy, guys, this is such a big boy and big girl book. They threw in a section called Words to Know. These are all the tricky words go to hide so that you know who they are when you find them. So we'll play a little game today. Find those tricky words. Look at the size of this thing. Say airplanes. That's easy. That's the name of the story, isn't it? This word here, say grow. Machines. Places. Tricks. Ways. Here we go. Now that we have unlocked those tricky words, let's dive right in. And look, I've already found it. Say airplanes. Look at that cool airplane. It's a seaplane because it can fly from the sea, which is another word for ocean. I would love to go for a ride on that guy. It looks a little rough today, but look at that water. Golly, that's some inviting water. Okie dokie, here we go. Ooh, yeah, look at these airplanes over here. This one's flying into a tropical island. That's a fun looking place. Over here we have a man who is snowboarding in the air from an airplane that has shark teeth on it. Very cool looking. This is a very exciting looking dude over here. Just be safe. Happy landings. And next up, oh, look at that. That is a cool picture, isn't it? All these cool airplanes all lined up, ready to go somewhere exciting. Gosh, this is going to be a great story. It's got such great pictures in it. That's what makes a great story. Great pictures. All right, we had so much picture power going, pumping through our blood on that one. Yes, that's right. Baby Matthew loved it. Let's dive into these crazy big words hiding in here. This is one of those trick words right here. It's the name of our story. AIR says air. PL says pull. ANES says ains. Let's put it together and say airplanes. Here's a sight word right here, guys. What does a pirate say? Arr. Good job. A says ah. M says say This is a long A sound. We're going to say A. Say amay. 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 Now add a Z to it. Say zzz. Say amaze. Amaze. That's fun to sound, isn't it? Now, ing. This is a word family. It's an awesome word family, too. And it says ing. Now we got two sounds we're gonna hitch together here. Say amazing. That's right. Look at this word over here. This is a really big word. It was one of your trick words, though, if you remember. Ma. Now this is really funny business. This CH usually says ch, but in Super Reader world, it can say shh too. I don't know what. Not too many words it does that though. But we're gonna say mush. Mush, or could it be muchy, much, match, or much, mush, mush. And this is really tricky business over here. Normally that says in, but this E gets into some funny business, and this says sheen. And you add an S, it says sheens. Sheens. I don't know. I don't invent this stuff. I just try to figure it out. We have MA that says ma, and then we have sheens. My goodness, we're going to need some super partner power for that one. Machines, I guess that's why it was on the words to know list, because it is a word to know. Let's use our reread power, guys. Let's smooth it all out, make it sound super fun and exciting. Say it with me. Say airplanes are amazing machines. They sure are. So amazing. Let's scoot on over. Whoa, that's a big airplane getting ready to be loaded with giant crates of stuff. I don't know what kind of stuff. Your guess is as good as mine, but look, it goes on a little elevator machine and gets loaded in. And if you notice on the airplane, it tells you what kind of plane it is. Air, A-I-R, air. And this sort of here, C-A-R says car, G-O says go. Cargo. That's what he's doing. He's loading up with cargo. Cargo can be anything. Anything. Watermelons, Legos to Minecraft video games. It all goes in that giant airplane. And there's the pilot way up there. That must be a really cool view from there. All right, guys, I hope that was enough picture power for us to figure out those tricky words. Let's dive on in, and here we have some tricky business. P-E says P. You know what? Hold that everything right here. We kind of have a little vowel team, a super vowel team right here. That O is silent, but he says, hey, buddy, you can say your name, E. It's so cool with me. So we're going to say P, and now we're going to add another P to it. So we're going to say peep. Peep. And now let's add an L. We have people. And that's a silent E, and he's just there to make that word look fancy. Say people. There you go. All right, this next word up, you can say or you can say you. And then we have a silent E at the end. That silent E is going to say, hey, you can say your name. Bye-bye. Use. That's it right there. Use. All right, now we use so much decoding power, I completely forgot what we're even reading about. And that is what reread power is for. So we're going to say people use. Remember this word? It's the name of our story. Airplanes. That makes sense now, doesn't it? People use airplanes. Oh, cool. Nice little fun sight word right here, too. G says got, E-T says et. This is a sight word, believe it or not, too. Say get. T-H, here's a fun letter team. Stick your tongue out and say th. And there is that awesome word family. I love ing that says ing. You put it together and you have some things. Get over here, you. Get down from there. All right, guys. We're going to have to fire up some reread power because I am absolutely lost what this sentence means. So we're going to smooth it all out. So read with me. People use airplanes to get things. That's right. They get things, and they don't just get them. They get them really fast, because that's about as fast as you can move things with an airplane. All right. Oh, so look, you don't just shove cargo on airplanes. People get on them, and off they go with their bags to go on some type of adventure. And look at this picture. There is so much fun stuff going on in here. Lots of cool stuff. Oh my goodness, they gave us an inside the cabin view. And what do we have here? But maybe the pilots or a stewardess. And he is saying, hey, buddy, you get a complimentary toy plane to remember this trip. How sweet is that? Man, that kid is excited. And she is too. And look at this. She brought her toy stuffed doggy. Why would she do that? Because airplanes move really fast. And if you've never flown before, the first time can be a little scary. And I bet that little puppy dog is making her feel just right. Just like this airplane, I bet is going to make him feel comfy because he doesn't have a toy stuffed animal. And maybe it is his first flight, too. So if it's your first flight ever and you get on an airplane, say, hey, Mr. or Miss, can I have a toy plane? That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? All right, guys, let's jump into these tricky words now. We know some of these. We've read them before. Remember, P-E-O-P says peep. We add an O, we have a people. And this is that sight word that says use. People use what? What's the name of our story? Airplanes. People use airplanes to... G-O says go. People use airplanes to go. P-L. It's a blend. You're going to blend those letters up. P and O, and you're going to get a pull. Now, this is a fun word. A-C-E says ace. Ace says that E is silent. It makes us say A. And then we add an S to the end. We have aces. Now add a pull in front of it. You have places. Let's use our reread power. Fire it all up. I just had a shower of Matchbox cars thrown at me. All right. People use airplanes to go places. That's right. I wonder where they're going. You can't really tell, can you? Oh boy, that doesn't look good. That is not good at all. That is one ginormous fire. Yikes, that is scary. How are they going to put it out, everybody? I wonder how it's... Look to the sky to see how we put this fire out. Giant fires are put out by clouds. Look at this cloud over here. Where could it be coming from? Whoa! Is that not the coolest picture ever? I want a poster of that. I should make that my wallpaper. Look at that airplane dumping white stuff out on that fire. Look, it's a seaplane. Look at that. It can land in water. It's got... looks like a boat on the bottom. That is so cool. Look, oh, Mr. Matthews coming over to check it out too. It is cool, isn't it? It's putting that giant fire out. That is the coolest. So far, that is my favorite picture. I'm going with that one. All right, guys, let's take a look here, kiddos. We have that word right here. Remember, P-E-O-P-L-E, people. There's a little sight word that says use. The name of your story is airplanes. Two, now here's a new word. It's a sight word. And this one, kids get really stumped on this because they say put. Putt or putt. Putt. I'm not playing golf. Putt, but you know what? It's tricky, but we got a in there. I don't know why, but it's a today. So we have a put. People use airplanes to put. Now, this is a fun rule right here. This is a super Val team. Oh, you say ow, like someone pinched you. Ow. You add a T to it, you have yourself an out. Out. And what are we putting out? Fires, right? F says I-R. All right, so the I says I. Why does the I get to say his name I? Because there's a silent E at the end. The E says, hey, friend, you can say I when you get to me, and they're going to go ahead and say I. So that cancels out. Normally, it would be a bossy R right there. Fire. And we'll add an S to it. We have fires. Now we figured out all the tricky parts. Let's put this all together, smooth it all out with our best storyteller voice, and say it with me. People use airplanes to put out fires. Nice job. That was a great picture, wasn't it? I don't know if they can top that one. We got a lot of blue skies. Very pretty. What do we got going on here? Whoa, watch out. Duck. It's coming right for you. Whew, I just made it underneath. All right, so this airplane, what is this airplane doing? Look at this. I mean, he is like a couple feet off the ground here. Is he landing? He can't be landing. Look at all this vegetable stuff. It's like a farm or a garden. And he's flying over the garden. If he lands on the garden, he would ruin it, so he can't possibly be landing. But there's this stuff coming out right here. He's putting white stuff all over the veggie tables. I don't know what he's doing, but what a cool view. And I just feel like I need to duck under the table right now every time I look at that. Let's scroll down. Let's find out more. Remember those? Wow, it's a lot of vegetables. Let's find out what's really going on. All right, guys, you can't just rely on picture power alone. We need to use our sight word power, letter power, and here we go, guys. You remember the pattern? We unlocked pattern power by now, haven't we? People use airplanes. How easy was that? Two. Oh, here's a new word. It's a sight word, believe it or not. H says huh. E. L says L. It just says L. E doesn't say anything, actually. So we have hell with a P in it. It's help. Help. And G-R say blend all up together. So they say grr. And we have another vowel team compadre over here. O-W that say oh. We're going to put together say grow. This is a really fun word. F says f. And the double O's, another super vowel team that says ooh. We got some fun sounds here, right? Ooh, ah. We got O's and oohs. So we have food. Now add a D to it. Food. Food. Okay, let's reread that funness and put it all together for everyone, for the folks at home. Let's go. People use airplanes to help grow food. So I don't know how he's helping, but he's helping to grow food right there. That's pretty cool. That wouldn't be it'd be a fun job, wouldn't it? Whoa, look at this plane. Look at this picture. There's the propeller. It's spinning so fast you can't even see it. It's got 2 wings, this airplane. And there's the pilot. But what is going on up here? That's a leg, isn't it? Don't tell me there's a person up there. Holy cow. Are you kidding me? Is this real? That is one crazy way to go for a airplane ride. I guess he doesn't have a spare seat. But this lady seems to be loving it because she is dancing on the wing of an airplane while it's flying. It's not even on the ground. It's in the air. And just so you can see, really good. Zoom in your super picture power. She is super duper strapped in right there. She is strapped to that pole, and that pole is strapped to the wing. And then you got all kinds of cable roonies over here, cable naders plugged into the wing. So nothing's going anywhere. So she is free to dance on the wing as long until her heart's content. Okay. God bless her. Let's jump into these tricky bits over here. We know the pattern, so it isn't that so tough at all. Is it really? All right, fella, get up here. Come in. Help me come in for the big win. We have people use airplanes to... Here's a new sight word. We haven't seen this one yet. D and an O. You're going to say da. That doesn't make any sense, does it? So you got to practice your... That's another reason why you got to practice sight words every day. D-O, do. To. It makes sense if you say this. Say to do. We have a ooh and an ooh. Ooh and an ooh. That's why they're sight words. They just don't make sense. Ooh and an ooh. To do. Now we have T and an R. We're going to blend that all up. T-R. We're going to say tur. I says S-E-K. Another super letter team says X. Tricks. We're going to do some tricks. I thought she was dancing. Guess she's doing tricks up there. All right, guys, let's use our reread power. Smooth it all out with me. Say, people use airplanes to do tricks. Yikes. Be safe up there. What else do we have? We had cargo. We had carried people. We did tricks. We grew vegetables. Oh my goodness, what is going on over here? These people have fallen out of an airplane on purpose. This guy's got a camera on his head. He's got a parachute in there, I guess. His book bags. These aren't book bags. I'm assuming they have parachute book bags, and they've jumped out of an airplane. Why would you want to do that? I have no idea, but I guess this is the look of having fun. Okay. As they spin and twirl out of control through the air. I don't even know what the trick word's going to be here. We'll find out. Wow, it's a big picture. Look at that. That's the ground. They are really high up. Okay. All right. This makes sense. Maybe it doesn't make sense. But my letter powers make sense. All right, guys, use your pattern power with me. Say, people use airplanes to... Ooh, a brand new sight word. I love it. Ha. You can sound this one out. H-A says ha, like ha, 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 ha. Add a V to it. You have a V. And then there's a silent E in there just for show. He doesn't do anything. Normally the A would say A, but that wouldn't make sense. Have. It's definitely not have, is it? People use airplanes to have. Unless you're inventing new words. People use airplanes to have, and I'm sure by now you figured this word out. Put that UN together. You have an un, like a bun, or fun. We have fun right there. Let's reread that with vigor. People use airplanes to have fun. Okay. Not fun. Not for everyone, but it is fun for some. All right. Let's scoot on over here and look what you have in here. What do you think? Definitely the conclusione of the story. because they are wrapping up all the pictures we've seen already. And we have putting out the fires to growing vegetables to taking us to new and exciting locations. Airplanes are super duper important. I feel like I just wrote the conclusion for them. I wonder what they're going to come up with. Okie dokie. We got a couple new words, but luckily they let us keep the pattern, so we can still use our pattern power. Let's give it a try. People use airplanes. Now, here's a new sight word, in. That's it. There's no other way around it. You can say all day long. It'll never make sense. You just got to know it's in. And M says, A-N says, and you have a man. But when you put a Y at the end, remember Y sounds like E or I. And this time it's going to sound, let's find out. We have many or mani. People, we'll have to reread that to smooth it out. People use airplanes and many. Now W says, what? This is really tricky stuff here. AY is a really cool word family that says A. It just says A, actually. There's nothing tricky about it. It just says, hey. So we have way. You add an S to it, you have ways. So one more time, bring it home, because it is the conclusione. Let's say people use airplanes in many ways. They sure do, folks. Tell me about your favorite way to use an airplane. Or what is the most important way to use an airplane? All right, there's a lot of different ways to do it. Okay, guys, that's all I have for you. Remember, you must, if you want to be a super reader, practice your letters, sounds, sight words, and read every single